sorry for the break in transmission. Welcome back. You're welcome back. Sorry for the break in transmission. Thank you for following. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This will make work very flexible for every one of us. If all of us can go all out and begin to set up our classrooms using Classmarker, it will make the work so flexible. So before the children come to the region, they are already used to it. Before they even come to the national, they are already familiar with the app. All right, so we have 11, we have 23, about 22 before, but while we're waiting for them, I want to share my screen so that we can move faster. I think this is the last section now. This is the last section, and I will also take questions now. Remember, this training is recorded live, so I will also upload it for everyone. So let me go back. The next screen you will see will be my screen for better understanding. All right, so this is where I stop. I'm sure you still remember how we got to this stage. Okay, all right. So it's important that you set the date that the login details will be sent to your children. Okay, I already have Sunday and I already have the time. I want it to be set at 12 p.m. Okay, I'll change this one to 12 p.m. in the afternoon. Let it be sent at that time. Now, what do I have there? Enter your own account login password. This is where you enter your own account login password. That's why I told you, you must not forget your password, because if you do, at this point, you cannot manage any account for any child. And you cannot even schedule questions. Even you have set all your questions, you have done everything. Everything is set. I'm telling you, you will not be able to schedule or invite children to your class. So you must not forget your password. Here, the program wants to know if you are the manager of this account. Yeah. So you type in your password. Okay, I just did that now because it's already saved. Then click on what? Register new users. By the time you click that, you can click your save password. It saves. What do we have here? These users are now registered. Once you see, otherwise you will see a message, sorry, failed to register. Check all over again. Something must have been wrong. And it also reminds me, the first name, the last name, as you can see, the username and the password. So tomorrow afternoon, this mail will be sent to William's account for him to log in and enter into the class. But at the moment, what the child will see is no question published here, because there is a time that control when the child will have access into the class, and there is a time that controls when the child will start the online competition. So it's similar, it's almost the same way. Now we have this already. I can see someone is following me now. That's Babadeji Williams, and I can check the result is also there automatically. It shows me my result, but that's for another time. We might not have time to go into that. Now, what next? As it is now, do you know that questions have not been assigned? We have 15. Oh, I'm still expecting more people. 15, we have 23 before, or 22. Okay, this is also very, very important, because if you get to this point and you don't know how to assign questions, it's another issue. So next is to assign question. Remember, we are dealing with lower teen Bible quiz. Next is to assign the question. Already we have question in lower teen body of the zeal, lower teen memory verse. We are yet to drop question in lower teen, what's it called? The book of Luke and Acts. Okay. How do we assign? Please do this by clicking on assign test. Anyway, you have make sure you are assigning tests in the appropriate class or age category by clicking on assign test. Fine. When you click on assign test, what do? You go through, you can see it shows show all tests, filters, show all tests. This is where we have all the tests. Of course, you all know what we mean by test in this program. I already told us that the test means the competition category. And as you can see, we have the competition category. What do? Look for lower teens body of the zeal. Everybody, can you see that? So I'll click on lower teen body of the zeal. Already I have some questions there, I think about 3. And when I click on that, It shows me lower tin body of the zeal. Just scroll down. Scroll down. When you get to this place, you have send to a group. We have sent to a link. I told you we're not going to use send to a link because it has its advantage. So please don't try that. Instead, send to the group. User registration required. Of course, we have set up for one. So you click, you can save and review. The advantage of this one, when you send to a group, is that you can save and review the test result given via groups with a free account. While with this one, you cannot save and review test result. So of what point is it? When the child has done it, you only see the result once and you can't save and review the test. So this is the best option. So you click on send to a group. Oh, beautiful. So when you click on send to a group, can you see the groups? The groups are restored, are displayed. Why do we have 5 groups? The reason is because we set up 5 classes for now. As you can see the new class I just set up, which is lower teen Bible quiz. Because this is a Bible quiz competition, so I will click for lower teen. So I will click this option. And then, though at this point, if you have a group you want to create, you can still click on create new group so that the group can be added here before adding. But I will advise you use the group channel to set up ordinary group before assigning. So now I've clicked. If I want to assign these questions to 2 or more groups, I can do that, but I don't need to. Like, you know, in most cases, lower and upper teen, they do similar questions, but I'm not going to do that. I just want one. So that's why I'm clicking on one. When I click on one, what do? Pretest settings. It's always good to set up your questions, to go over this, to set up your what's it called? Quiz settings. This is where we adjust the quiz settings by clicking on this place. Okay. For now, you currently have no test. Okay, because we've not assigned test, so let's close this one. In the course of assigning your test, it will come up. So just click next. I've already indicated the group. Please leave this one for now. Pretest preset settings. Just go because I've not assigned one. By the time I do that, I can still come here and change the quiz settings for this new group. So I'll click on next. That's what you have to do. When you click on next, you have your lower teen body of the zeal. As you can see, everybody, what is this? Lower teen Bible quiz. Lower teen Bible quiz. This is the class. Lower teen Bible quiz is the class, but the question assigned or quiz assigned is lower teen body of the zeal to that group. Now you can now begin to adjust your quiz settings. This is very, very important. Now we'll start with test access. Test access. What do we mean by the test access? The access period has to be defined. Like I told you, that this time is different from the previous one. This is where you set the time the question will be published. Will be published. So you click this. When do you want this question to be published? Okay, it will be available. Option we have currently available. We have available, we have unavailable. If you click available, it means the question will be available now. But here you go to option 2, you click, you set the time. I want this question to be posted. Let's assume it's next year. This question will be available. I'll click on this, which is 2022. Let's go over it again. Sorry. Okay, so I'll click this one and choose 2022. Then which month? Let's assume the quiz is coming up in March. I'll click March 2022. Then the date, let's assume the date is Saturday, and let's assume is last Saturday. Okay, I'll click this one, 26, for instance. So that is the date. Now, when you read this, users can enter the test between these times. Can I test between this time? So it will start from there. Then what about the deadline? There is available time from so time and date to so date and time. That should also be specified there. So we have available date, which is this, and the time. The time is let's assume it to be in the morning. So this is where you indicate. Let's assume it to start from 9 a.m. Remember to change it to a.m. Then what about the deadline? The time, we have to define the time limit that the children are allowed to come online to take part in the online competition. So available until. So let's define the time the children are expected to take part in the question. It will still be the same date, if I'm not mistaken, which is March 2022. Please, this must be clearly defined. And then the date is still 26. But now it's starting from 9 till what time? Okay, I want to give the children time to log in and take part from 9. If you're not available by 9, if you're available by 10, but I don't want it to be more than 3 hours. So I will make it 9 till 12. Okay, I'll click 12. Then I'll put 12 p.m. So the children are allowed to take part in the question between this time. Because once this time is up, no more, no less, the question will disappear, will go off from the classroom. So now, what else? We have show test and result when unavailable. Then we also have can resume when unavailable. What does that mean? So this one is to show test when unavailable, but you can leave that one out. But if I click here, you read, say by default, when tests are set as unavailable in option 1 or option 2 above, your children will not see them listed at all on their test page. Turn this setting on to allow test takers to view their completed test results when this test is not available. Okay, so that's on that, but I would advise you just leave that one. Okay, now we move on. We've defined that one. Next is test introduction. Yes. Do you want introduction? You can leave that one. Let there be introduction. Yes. The next one is taking test. This is what determine how many minutes, the time limit. Aside from the interval at which the children can click to take part in the test, you can also set limit for this question. This question, which is the body of the zeal, how many minutes do you want for this test? This is where you type the minutes. So I'll make it 20 minutes. If it's 25, this is where you type it. So even whether the child logs in around 9, 10, 11, the children are only allowed, or the child is only permitted to go through this question in less than 20 minutes. Resume later. Do not allow resume later because it's cheating. If you click allow save and resume later, it means the child can log in, do it. If the child stop at 10 minutes, the child will say, log out, go and play and do other things and still come back and resume. No, once the time is up, it's counting down. So please don't activate that one, leave it at no. We move to the next one, test question. This is where you are setting up the question, the quiz settings. I mean, this is where you work on, you define the quiz settings. Test questions. Display one question at a time. You can choose your option from there, but it's always good to have one question at a time. Randomize. Yes, that's to shuffle. Give questions in random order. I think that's correct. If you have it as no, please change it to yes. Let it shuffle. So my question 1 may not be question 1 on the page of the person sitting next to me. So that is how it is. So it will always randomize it. Then we have answer not mandatory. Okay, you can also leave that one. Okay, answer not mandatory. This is where I think we have an issue here. Must answer questions. Okay, I wouldn't know what option you have here, but I think I've worked on this one. Not mandatory, must answer questions. I think this one is compulsory. Okay, you choose this one. Must answer questions before it goes to the next one. Must answer questions. Auto finish test if a question is incorrectly answered. Please do not choose this one. This one is for a kind of competition whereby you call the children out. If a child miss one, wherever you stop, you stop. If the question if you got three questions right, your total mark is 3. You cannot continue to take part in the other questions. So it now depends, but we don't do that in redeem. So please do not leave auto finish test if a question is incorrectly answered. Allow the children to make all these errors and continue. At the end of the day, let's see the total result. So must answer questions. Don't leave any question, any stone unturned. Okay. The next one, instant review. Question grading and feedback during test. Question grading and feedback. Well, you may leave this one. Question grading and feedback during test. Is there need for that? Review.
So I don't think that's I don't think that instant review should be activated. Yes.
You know, we talked about it in the meeting, isn't it? I hope you still recollect, man. Hello, man. I hope you still recollect. I hope we still recollect. The last time we had our training, we talked about it, that there is a place that we will review how you can block that. So this is where you can block that. So instead of allowing the children to see their total result, no, leave it. Question grading and feedback. Leave question grading. Don't show it. Review correct answers during test. Now change answers. Allow test takers to go back during test. No, don't allow that. Question can be bookmarked. No. Allow brother spell checker. So this is well controls that. So failure, I wouldn't know how it is on your system.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, just out of I think it may be ideal, okay, because if we say that mandate, I think that we should remove that mandatory option, okay, and allow change answers. You know why? Because I mean, just like every other person, when you're writing exams, sometimes you remember something and you want to go back to it. Okay. Or you feel, okay, what I chose the other time was wrong. I think I need to change it. Okay. So I think that should be allowed.
Change
while
answers.
Mandatory.
Okay.
Sir?
Leave it. Okay.
While mandatory should be removed.
Okay.
Because I may know number 1, I may know number 2. Instead of wasting time, I'll go to number 3.
I'll go to number 3. All right. All right.
So if we put mandatory, that will not be yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, and so we can still go back. So I think this one is better. Change answers, allow, but please, instant review. Don't allow any of your children to review. Don't allow them, because in the course of reviewing, they will check what you mark them. They will check their scores and then review their works. If there's anyone that they got correctly and it's an error on your part, know that they can report it to Mommy Gio. They can take it to anywhere. They can even take it to, so because we are imperfect, so let's just take it for who you are. But please, that should not mean that we should now make mistakes. Let's just be careful when we're setting our questions. So spell check, allow browser spell check. Please don't allow this. This is where you make mistakes. If you allow browser spell check, do you know what? When they are typing, once there's a mistake, it tells them. So please don't allow this one. That is Expo. If you treat your children that way, when they get to region, they'll meet a different thing. So now we move to test completion, results, score, feedback. Oh, okay. I think this is where we're talking about. Okay, sir. But this is what we're talking about. That one, you can control it. But now this test completion, this is where the major issue is. Upon completion, test takers can see points. Okay, no problem. You can see your points. You can see your percentage. What about feedback? Custom feedback set as below. No problem. But note what? I've removed this. Under test completion, grade questions, review correct answers. Don't review. If you click review, the children will go over it to review their correct answers. Oh, where did I miss it? I can see my correct answer. I can see the one I missed. Display incorrect answers. They will see it. And if they see that and there is a mistake on your part, they will take it to any level and tell you that, ma, sir, I got this. Why did you mark it wrong? It's your typographic error that caused that. I hope you understand this now. So this is where we're talking about. This is where the magic takes place. This is where there can be argument. This is where there can be issue. Test completion. So please, under test completion, make sure you remove graded questions and all that.
topic.
Please, can we mute ourselves? We can hear background noise. Can we mute ourselves, please? All right, thank you. Okay, can I move on? All right, good. Under pass mark, well, you can set your pass mark. Let me leave it at 60. Feedback, yes, no problem. Well, we can work on that. Certificate, leave that one, no. Unless you subscribe, you can get that one. Email, instructor, no. Test taker, no. If you want it to be email, you can put that on. Printing, no need. You can do that later. So now you can save your default setting. This becomes your default settings, which you can always use for other questions, unless you want to change for other questions. So you click assign when you are done. Now this question is now assigned. As I add more questions, the questions are updated automatically. As I add more questions, the questions are updated automatically. But I will advise, before you assign question, ensure that you complete all your questions up to, if you're asked to set 50, make sure you complete it before you assign your questions. So I'll click on this now. So it's assigning my questions now. And at the end of the day, my question is assigned. Look at, there is a feedback. Great. Your test is assigned to your group. Fine. And what is my test? Lower teen body of the zeal is assigned to this class, lower teen Bible quiz. Do not forget that I still have one more questions to assign, because I don't want the child to just take part in one. The child is taking part in two or more. So what do? I will go back to my groups. When I click on my groups, I'll go back to the same class, which is lower teen Bible quiz. And then I'll click on, you can see, everybody, I hope you can see that on my screen. When I click this, it shows me lower teen body assign. And then when I click on, if I go to edit groups, of course, you know why I have one. I have one because I've added one person. Okay, let me go to this group. I've added Williams. So I already have a child following me, as you can see. So Williams will see this question next year. Even though William can enter the class starting from tomorrow, but the question will be published at sometime next year. Okay, so we have this. So what do we do next? We're talking about assigning more questions. So it reveals to me that I've assigned a question. Okay, that's why you have, everybody, can you see that? One test assigned. This is the question that Williams will do. And in the group, I have one. So this is where you know how many children are in your groups and how many tests you have assigned. So I need to assign more. All I need to do is click on assign test. When I click on assign test, which test am I assigning to this group? Remember, I already started by clicking on it. Okay, it doesn't matter. You may click on the group or not, but there's a place where you actually do that. So I've assigned body of the zeal. What about lower teen memory verse? I think we did something on lower teen memory verse, but sorry, there's a mistake about this. Lower teen memory verse. I'll remove the S later. So I'll click on lower teen memory verse. When I click on lower teen memory verse, I want to assign, which group do I want to assign it to? I told you concentrate on group only. Don't go to link. Click on send to group. Okay, now the groups are reviewed. I have 5 groups. You know why I got 5 groups. So which group, please make no mistake about it, assign to the appropriate group. Lower teen Bible quiz. I think we are familiar with this now. I'll click, I'm adding 2 more. So I'll click on, I don't want to change, select from existing settings. Okay, I can select from existing settings. If I click this one, it shows me, can you see that, everybody? You know, I told you the other time, now that I have, what's it called? A question setting on this one, I'll just click this one. I'm using this, use this. So I don't want to go over to start changing my setting. I want the same setting, except you know that this is a different question and it will need, the time is different. You understand? I'm talking about the time limit. You know, there's difference between time limit and then the scheduled time and the closing time. There is scheduled time and the closing time, which is the date, the starting date, and the closing date. The starting time and the closing time is different from the time limit for the question. So if you know that the time limit for the question is different, but it's the same date and the time, then in this case, you may have to do justice to that. But I'll click on next, and then I'm not done yet. When I click on next, it brings out this. I'm about to assign lower teens memory verse to this question. Now, the reason for this is this, beloved brethren, the program opens up the settings as it were, Saturday, 26th March, 2022, 9 a.m. next year. So Saturday, 26th March is like a reminder. In case I now notice that, oh, sorry, it's always good to start from somewhere. That's why I'm starting from an existing quiz settings. so that if I now want to change, it's easier for me to just make little adjustment rather than starting from scratch, which is the program default settings. So I have this and then I go on 20 minutes, I think is okay. And then I move on. All right, I think I don't need any other thing. I'm good to go with these settings. Then I'll click assign. That the same method you apply in assigning the third session to Bible quiz. That is all on this training. Oh, I'm sure somebody wants to ask. You said that's all. How do I get the result? Oh, don't worry, result is not a problem. To get results, by the time the student starts, it will be showing you the result. Once you sign in as an administrator, it shows you children that have tuned into the question. It shows their results. So that percentage, which you can download. Though time will not permit me to show you how to download that one, but we can explore that one on our own. But if you have questions, if you have difficulties on how you can collate all the questions and download and see everything at a glance so that you can print and then easily work on that, then that will be a question for another time. So for the result, just click and then we have this place. We have, what's it called? Groups, statistics. Automatically, okay, you will see recent group results. It will automatically show you results. Don't worry. Or you will find result page. Result will come out where you can check your result. But result will come out and then you begin, because there's nobody that has taken part now. That's why we cannot show you the result. But automatically result will come out. You see the children and their percentage and their gradings. And even if you have any issue with children getting the same, what do you call it? The same point. Let's say you have two children and you have a tie, 90%, 90%. This program has helped us out in storing the what's it called? The duration, has helped us to store the duration so that in case there is a tie, then you can also move further to check who was the first to complete, which you can also use as your judge criteria. I say, okay, I can, because it will expose the time that this person spent 20 minutes, this one spent 10 minutes, this one spent 15 minutes. Even the time the child starts does not even matter. It's not about the time the child starts, because a child may sign in at exactly 9, another child may sign in at exactly 10. But the duration is what we are talking about. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, which you can use as your judge criteria to defend your results. So that's how I come to the end of the training. Thank you so much. I don't know if there is any question. Do you want me to leave this screen on so you can ask your question, or should I return back to the normal page?
Okay, sir, I have a few questions, please.
Okay.
Okay, so from the very top, I noticed that you used Firefox browser.
Okay.
I can't quite remember if we mentioned it in the initial training, but are other browsers available, what's it called, allowed, like Google Chrome, Microsoft Explorer and co?
Yeah.
Then second, should I ask all my questions? Okay. Then secondly,
you can use any browser.
All right. Okay. Then secondly, I was trying to ask you to zoom in that when you were typing Classmarker, because I noticed that when the page now came up, C was in capital letter, M was in capital letter. Is it case sensitive when we are typing it into the where we type the URL?
Into the address bar, into the URL. No, like I said, when I started the training, I told us very important that you must type Classmarker, not Classmaker. If you type Classmaker, it can be case sensitive. It can use any case. It can use any case. It doesn't matter, but small letter preferably.
Okay. Okay. So when we're trying to what's it called now? How do we call it? When we're trying to make usernames for different children, is it, or should I say, is it a different username per child? What do you call it now? Per group?
Yeah, per child. And while you are trying to register the children, that's under registration. Yeah. So while you're trying to register the children, the username will be unique. The program generates that based on their first name and their last name, which they supplied. Based on their first name and last name, so the program will generate that and send it to them. You also have your own copy in your email. Even on your platform, you will see it there. So they have unique username. It's reminding me, we
Okay.
want to round up in less than 10 minutes. Please, let's try to round up so that I don't want
Okay.
us to come back.
So,
So do you understand? It will send you,
all right. So
and then it will say
I get that.
unique password. But if you now want uniform password, I told you, you can type the password you want so that
Okay.
everybody can use a uniform password instead of calling you all the time that I have problem logging in.
Okay.
I can't get the
Okay.
password. The password, sometimes computer
All right.
can use a code that you might not be able to get. So all the children needs to do is to do copy and paste. Do you understand? So if you have an
Yes,
email
sir.
and you use a symbol that you cannot even identify or locate
Remember.
on your keyboard, locate on your keyboard, you can just use copy and paste. But to save
Okay.
that, to avoid that, you can put your
Use
password.
the same password for
But I will
everybody.
not advise. Let them do and tell them to use copy and paste.
Okay. All right. Now I think I'm a little confused. Is there really a difference between upper and lower body of zeal? Because I know they use the same zeal.
No, there's no difference between except maybe Redeem is now working on that, or you want to
Because
we want to
I
raise
thought
it.
that we were mentioning.
We want to raise it. There
I
is
realized
difference
we were
between
mentioning upper thin, lower thin body of.
yeah.
So
Okay, someone wants to say something. Hello.
okay.
Hello. I think someone wants to say contribute to that. Okay, you asked the question: is there difference between lower thin and upper thin? Yes, there is.
Okay, can I say something?
Okay, I'm listening, sir.
Yeah.
Please, let's just a minute, please. Let's not forget to use the chat box to type our name and our what's it called, province, our name and our province for record keeping, so we know which province we are going to work on. All right, over to you, sir.
Okay, sir. I think the difference is the way to solve the question will be set. The super things is they will need to, the question will be more advanced compared with the lower things. I think that's the difference.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So I think that's clear. Lower teen is age 13 to 15, and upper teen is 16 to 19. So they use the same zeal. Redeem has not given us, well, maybe by the time they talk about it in the meeting, we also ask this question, they can decide to separate it in the subsequent time. Just like now that we are having different Bible, books of the Bible, separated. So I think they are working on that. But the only difference is that they are using the same zeal, but the question has to be totally different in the sense that you improve the question you are setting for upper things. Make sure it's more complex. That's all. So any other question? Because we have 6 minutes more. Any other question?
Yeah, the last question, sir. I wanted to ask. Can we easily copy, if I have my questions on Microsoft Word, can I easily copy and paste them from Microsoft Word to my Classmarker?
Very well, you can. That is perfect to save your data. You understand? It's not as if you consume much data, but if you have your question, your answer, just copy paste, and that would be much more better if you have a laptop. If you have a laptop, you can type, scrutinize your questions, then use copy paste and paste in there. It's allowed. It's very good. That's a very good one. Thank you very much for that suggestion. All right, for that question. All right, someone was going to ask a question. 6 minutes more. Someone is about to ask a question. Sorry, I will not be able to. Oh, okay. Before. Okay. All right. Okay. We are listening, sir. We can't hear you.
Can we have access to the recording?
Can we
have access to this recording?
Yes. I will send it on the platform immediately. After saving, I will send it on the platform.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. I think that's Brother Remu. Okay. So do we still have all right? Do we still have any other question? Okay. In the absence of that, please, I don't know how to plead with us. We have had this training. It is one thing to have this training. It's another thing to start taking mastery of this online too. I want to encourage us that now that we have looked at some very vital features of this program, I want to encourage us. Let's begin to do something about it. Let's begin to apply it and set up our classes, and let's begin to set up our questions, maybe at a province level. But remember that the question you are setting for region is different from this. And perhaps if there are some teachers that are supposed to be, if there are some teachers that are supposed to be in this training, just a minute, if there are some teachers that are supposed to be in this training and they are not here, please, let's find a way to go, because this is this Genesis. We might look at it that, oh, it's not necessary. I tell you that this little input that you have made today, is rewarded, because the word of God made it clear. God said in his word is that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. For you to have given out your time, not taking these as a waste of time, but that the little knowledge I'm going to acquire from here, we have a long way to go. And then you now go back, and there are people that, I tell you, the last training we had, there is a province that called me, and I still had training with them. And because I cannot give up, not that I charge them for anything, but because I believe that we have to be trained. We have to be trained one way or the other. But the training I had with them was not this one, was on the guidelines. There are a lot of things we also discovered. So when we keep training ourselves, that we begin to remind us, when I'm saying the question, I will not deviate from the rules. And just like this one. So please, I want to encourage us, let's go all out, because we must improve. We must improve this year. God will help us in Jesus' name. And so I pray that the Lord will help us. The Lord will go. Then as we go, I'm going to answer your question, because I don't want to come back. I don't come back. Okay, please, can you ask a question? I want us to share grace. That's the reason why. And I don't want us to go back.
Okay, sir. Hello, sir.
All right. I'm listening.
We have,
yeah, we have 2 minutes to go. I'm listening.
I just want to know if the app works on any Android phone, any type of Android phone. Does it work on it?
Yes.
Or does it select phones?
Yes, it works it works on any browser. It's not actually an app, so you cannot get it.
I had problem with my phone. I could not use my phone to upload the question to my students.
I get it, ma. This is not an app. It's a website that you can visit from any browser. The most important thing, make sure that you have a browser, a web browser. It can be Google Chrome, it can be Mozilla Firefox, it can be any browser. So all you just need to is, ma.
One last question or observation.
Okay.
Okay, is Zeal peradventure in any way available online? As in, is there an online copy
Zeal
of the Zeal? If I remember questions and I don't have my physical Zeal with me, so that I can quickly start.
I think there is, but I don't know. I'm not on the platform, because I used to get some, but I'm not on the platform. So I think there is an online Zeal, but I'm not on the platform. Maybe I will throw it and ask them to help us out. Okay. So please, I'm so sorry. Our time is up now. We have less than 2 minutes. So I want us to share the grace, and then we call it a day. If you have any question, just throw the question on the platform, and I can assure you that I will answer your question. So please, ma, I would like Brother Christopher to give us a short prayer, and then we share the grace. Just a short prayer. We have 1 minute to do that. Thank you.
Hello.
Brother Christopher, please give us a short prayer. And then okay, is it not in the meeting? Brother Christopher, please unmute yourself and give us. Shall we share the grace to the fellowship because of time? We can. We have limited time. 1, 2, 3, go. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Good night, everybody. Sister Adejutu, God bless you. Brother Alufemi, God bless you. Brother Folabi, God bless you. Sister Fumi, God bless you. Sister Grace, God bless you. Thank you. Brother Paul, God bless you. Aremu, Sister Oluwatosin, God bless you. Brother